With your indulgence, let me start on a somewhat pedantic note. The man who appeared in that exuberant TV ad for TV ads at the end of this episode was Saul Goodman, a guy who should not be confused with Saul Goodman. Saul Goodman is an attorney with the side order of huckster. With Saul Goodman, the huckster is the whole meal. The two should not be confused. I mention this only because I've lamented before that the namesake of this show was yet to appear, and as far as I'm concerned, that absent streak, think Lou Gehrig in reverse, continues. If there is any doubt that the writers of Better Call Saul understand that they are tantalizing us here, consider the episode's closing line. It's just a name, Jimmy tells Kim. Oh no, it's not. The heartless teases of the show's writing room are basically telling us, yeah, we're pretty committed to drawing out this whole waiting for Goodman thing, and we are amused by your impatience. That said, we have before us a slightly new and promisingly upbeat iteration of Jimmy McGill, a man who has been given a 12-month suspension for his putatively felonious behavior. In Kim's closing argument, she gets to the heart of the matter by saying that the destruction of evidence charge involving the cassette of Jimmy's secretly taped confession is nonsense. Why? He had no premeditated agenda, as Kim put it, referring to Jimmy. I admit that I'm somewhat baffled by this line of reasoning. Does a lack of premeditation make a destruction of evidence charge go away? And anyway, isn't clear that Jimmy did plan to destroy that tape. That's why he stormed into his brother's house, isn't it? A copy of the tape was made, so the evidence wasn't destroyed in a permanent sense. But Kim doesn't seem to be picking that nit, and Jimmy didn't know a copy existed when he barged into his brother's house. Frankly, the collective Saul brain in the comments section of last week's recap had takes that were far more convincing on the rationale Jimmy and Kim were using to ease Jimmy out of this jam. You people should be hired as story consultants. Having dodged the disbarment bullet, Jimmy and Kim have reason to celebrate, which they do with a bottle of champagne and a hint that some friskiness is called for. In keeping with the show's vow of chastity when it comes to public displays of affection between these two characters, there's nary a smooch. Meantime, Chuck writhes dejectedly at home in the fetal position, and then seems persuaded, by the twin powers of Howard Hamlin and a glass Macallan, that it's time to leave Jimmy alone and start practicing law again. Well done, Howard, who demonstrates his own closing argument chops by invoking the great Clarence Darrow in his plea. This is ennobling poppycock, as those fiendish Better Call Saul writers certainly know. Chuck is a corporate lawyer. Once his talents are reharnessed, he'll help banks comply with the law and thwart plaintiffs' lawyers. He won't be crusading